Dub, dub, da, dub, da, dub, da, dub, dub. Yes. Oh. Now my dirty they smell like this. Now to throw away am quick. This kind smell fit make man sick. That woman throw away dirty for ground. Me sef go do the same.
Hold up.
See, to do this kind badness by the book, you make sure say person know they look. And then you drop am nicely, bros. Nothing will happen. Trust me.
See, if you throw away dirty for ground, another person sef throw away dirty. Everybody come begin to throw away dirty for ground. Everywhere go come dey smell. Gutter go block, road go block, and you will like to dey dab. Now you say no more dabbing for you be that too. Dab, 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 dab. Yes.
Good afternoon and welcome to News of the Hour. My name is Shegufumi Oyedokun. Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki has said that what Nigerians called friction was normal in every democracy and denied any rift with the presidency. According to him, the Senate cleared 185 of 196 nominees presented to it by the presidency to ample the relationship between both arms of government. Speaking to the Senate Press Corps as part of the activities to mark the World Press Freedom Day, Saraki noted that the cordial relationship explained why senators will continue to pass motion after motion to draw attention to critical national issues. He said they have passed critical laws that will make positive impact on the standard of living and rate of development in the country, and that they have investigated key issues that have helped to expose corruption in high government offices. He further stated that they have equally treated petitions from people who feel oppressed and believe that the Senate could help them seek redress and get justice instead of resorting to prolonged litigation. Attempted suicide attack on Maiduguri by 3 females were voided on Wednesday, according to a press release by the spokesperson of the National Emergency Management Authority, Abdulkadir Ibrahim. 3 teenager females with explosives strapped on them were lost, and Ibrahim said that security officers who was among those intercepted was injured. The statement said that the 3 female teenagers suicide bombers attempted to attack the military outpost popularly known as Guantanamo along the Mona garage. They were sighted trying to gain access to the premises and were shot by the securities, leading to the detonation of their concealed explosive, which killed all the 3 of them and injured 1 of the security personnel. Ibrahim revealed that the corpses of the 3 were evacuated to Borno State Specialist Hospital, Maiduguri, by emergency aid workers. The Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammadu Abubakar III, has cautioned Nigerians against making the mistake that plunged Nigeria into a 30-month civil war. Abubakar, who said that the country would not be able to survive another civil war, added that it was necessary for every Nigerian to work towards a peaceful coexistence. The monarch spoke while addressing the traditional rulers during the ongoing River State Golden Jubilee celebration with the theme traditional institutions in Nigeria and the challenges of re-engineering viable local economies. Explaining that traditional institutions have been in existence before Nigeria was created, Abubakar maintained that Nigerians had what it takes to bring the best out of the country. He urged politicians not to see the traditional institution as a threat, but they should work with it to develop the country. The national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Senator Alimodu Sheriff, and the chairman of the party's National Caretaker Committee, Senator Ahmed McAfee, have disagreed again over the plan to hold the party's national convention. While Sheriff insisted that it will go ahead with the plan to hold the convention, McAfee said doing so would prejudice the outcome of the ongoing litigation over the leadership of the party at the Supreme Court. The McAfee group has approached the Apex Court, asking it to nullify the judgment of the Court of Appeal in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, which nullified the election of the caretaker committee. The judgment of the appellate court, which restored the leadership of Sheriff, has been used by the former governor of Borno State to gain access to the party's secretariat. This has been criticized by the McAfee group, saying the police refused to open the secretariat for it when it won at the Federal High Court. Amina High Court has granted a former Niger State Governor Babangida Aliyu and his Chief of Staff Umar Nasko bail with an option of fine. The presiding judge, Justice Aliyu Mayaki, said the bail condition for Aliyu would be the sum of 150 million naira with two sureties who would deposit the certificate of occupancy of two landed properties worth the sum of 200 million naira each. While ruling on the bail of Umar Nasko, who was the People's Democratic Party PDP governorship candidate in the state in the year 2015, Mayaki said a bail would be granted with an option of 100 million naira, even as Nasko would provide two sureties with landed properties located within the state and worth the sum of 150 million each. In an interview with newsmen counsel to Nasko, Barrister Usman, however, said the bail terms were too harsh, saying that Nasko was a man of exemplary character and would not jump bail. We'll take a short break. When we return, news on the Hour continues. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. You're still watching news on the Hour coming to you on New Frontiers Television. Moving on to business. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has commenced a move to attract 20 companies to make substantial investment worth the sum of $20 million in order to meet the federal government target of increasing refinery capacity in the country. Investigation shows that the Apex Oil Corporation has in the past few weeks been engaging with the investors in order to inform, educate, as well as assist them to prepare various packages required in the process of applying for licenses. Confirming the development on the sideline of the Forum on Modular Refinery in Lagos, General Manager Refining Directorate Dr. Almer Danlade, who is involved in the process, disclosed that the NNPC decided to play the role in order to guide potential investors how to invest in the sector. He said this became very important, especially as many potential investors did not know much about the sector. The federal government of Nigeria may get the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to relax the ban imposed on 41 items from the official foreign exchange windows. The Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, said the government will consider the policy-driven restriction to promote local manufacturing of 41 items such as rice and toothpicks. He said in stabilizing the macroeconomic environment, they are focused on aligning fiscal with the monetary policy and nudging the central bank towards the objective of more market-determined exchange rate. Recall that the Apex Bank in the year 2015 introduced a policy restricting importers of some 41 items from sourcing from the foreign exchange window in order to support the naira after it was hit by a fall in oil price. The policy has, however, led to the closure of many plants in various sectors. Still on business, towards the rehabilitation of the Ajaokota Steel Complex, the federal government of Nigeria has completed the phase 1 of the ASCL terminal plant. The immediate past director of MIME at the Ministry of Mine and Steel Development, Mr. Daudu Awojobi, who disclosed this as a training session for journalists in Lokoja, Kogi State, said the following rehabilitation of the plant, it had now added the tune of 22 megawatt to the national grid. He also disclosed that the government has created 119,532 direct employment from mid-tier operators and established 63 private mineral buying centers across the country. The federal government retrieved the steel complex from the concessionaries after a legal tissue. The federal government of Nigeria has approved the appointment of transaction advisor for the proposed national carrier and concession of the nation's airport. This was one of the decisions reached at the meeting of the Federal Executive Council presided over by the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. The Minister of State for Aviation, Adi Sirika, said since most of the programs and projects were supposed to be on the public-private partnership basis, the government was guided by the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission's regulations. Sirika stated that one of the processes is to appoint a transaction advisor who will give advisory services, kickstart and lead the process. The National Bureau of Statistics has said that the country's foreign and domestic debt stood at $11.41 billion and 14.02 trillion naira as of December 2016. The Bureau stated these as in its states and federal debt stock data, which was released in Abuja. A breakdown of the country's foreign debt, according to the report, shows that $7.99 billion was owned multilateral agencies, $198.25 million for bilateral, while the balance of 3.22 billion naira was sourced from the China Exim Bank. The report stated that while the federal government of Nigeria alone accounted for the tune of 68.72% of the country's total foreign debt, of the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory accounted for the remaining 31.28%. Similarly, the report stated that the total federal government accounted for the tune of 78.989% of the Nigeria's total domestic debt, while the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT were responsible for the balance of 21.11%. The report added that Lagos State had the highest foreign debt profile among 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, accounting for 38.70%, while Kaduna has 6.25%, Edo State 5.15%, Cross River 2.22%, and Ogun State has 2.90%, respectively. The revenue target of the Nigerian Customs Service for the year 2016 fell by 216.5 billion naira as the Controller General of Customs, Colonel Ahmed Ali, retired, told the House of Representatives in Abuja. This was a dip of 23.11% as against the original target of 937.3 billion naira set for the year. The agency only succeeded in collecting 720.7 billion naira, equivalent of 76.89% of the target revenue between the month of January and December 2016. The Nigerian Customs Service collected the tune of 177.9 billion naira as value-added tax on imports, bringing the total revenue collection to the tune of 898.6 billion naira. Ali had appeared before the House Committee on Custom to defend the Custom 2017 budget estimate. The federal government had stated the effort to diversify the economy in 2016 by focusing on oil revenue resources, particularly through the Nigerian Custom service. But Ali told the lawmakers that certain factors led to the drop in the revenue collection. And that's much we can take on the heart of this news. Thanks for staying with us. My name is Segun Funmi Oyedokun. Good afternoon.